That's a mistake, man.
Yeah.
Alright, before we get started, guys, I want to let you know there is no wait staff, so if you need to get a drink, just go straight to the bar. We're not going to make fun of you, we're going to be busy making fun of each other. So, don't be shy. Alright, let's start this roast. I want you all to give it up for my man, Big T, right here in the corner. Big T, I can only assume the T stands for titties. There's two types of people in this world, and I'm pretty sure Big T is a type 2 kind of person. Big T is from Oakland, California, and he's always smiling. Every time I see Big T, he is always smiling. And I guess that makes the saying true that happy cows come from California. When asked Big T what he do for a living, he responded, hustle. Then I looked at his resume. First, he was a bouncer at a strip club. Then he became the DJ at the strip club. Then he went to college. And thanks to the University of Phoenix, he is now the manager of that strip club. Oh man, when he was the DJ, he went by the name of DJ Scratchatory Rape. And that's because he was always slapping records that were 17 years and younger. Those are some tight jams. We got the lovely Cheryl White here. Give it up for Cheryl. Us young comedians, we see Cheryl as a mother to us. And that is because every time she calls us, we never answer the phone. When Cheryl goes to the bar, they don't check her ID to see she's 21. They check her pulse to see if she's still alive. Cheryl has a podcast about dating. What are you dating? Carbon? Welcome everybody to Chris Barrelict here. Chris looks like if Peter Parker just got bit by a regular spider. And instead of web slinging action and spidey senses, he just got scoliosis and social anxiety. He looks like the kind of guy that spent more time inside his locker than his books. I feel like he's received more swirlies than a fat kid with a Froyo gift card. Chris fixes other comedians' computers for stage time, and I think to myself, what a goddamn hustler he is, man. I wish us comedians were more like Chris and know how to work on computers so we can stop giving them stage time. What's that? Is this mic on or am I just really loud? I don't give a fuck. I think it's on, right? It's louder? Yeah. Is that better?
Can you hear us in the back?
Can y'all hear me in the back? We got a thumb up, all right. Speaking of computers, back in Cheryl's day, they didn't have computers. And Tinder was how she started fires. Speaking of Tinder, we have Jordan Seminara, or as the Tinder community calls them, good old left swipe. Jordan Seminara, his last name sounds like gay pasta sauce. Jordan's got this great fashion sense, man. I feel like he looks like he had a $100 gift certificate to Ross, but then traded it to a homeless guy for all his clothes. Such a pothead, guys. This guy has so much grass inside his lungs. Once a month, he's got to hire a Mexican to get in there and... Oh, so dumb. Speaking of weed, Cheryl doesn't smoke weed. Because back in her days, they didn't have weed. And Mary Jane was something you did when you got Jane pregnant. learned about the birds, or Clark learned about sex with the birds and the bees, and now he just jerks off to Animal Planet. Clark looks like a criminal who would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds a lot better. Go lower. Lower. That's too much. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Now I don't have to yell so much. It's awesome.
Can you turn on your mic?
Yeah. Is that better? Is that better, guys? Where did I leave off on? Clark? Yeah, is that better? Alright guys, let's pretend that didn't happen and let's just move on. Move on to Clark W. Little. Lower? Is that better? Is that a lot better? Clark W. Little, guys. I love saying that name. Clark W. Little. I wish he wasn't a comedian. I wish he was a soccer goalie. Because then it would have been appropriate for him not to have any goals in life. I want you guys to welcome Tom Smith. Tom was born and raised in San Francisco, which means he now lives in San Mateo. Tom looks like if you stole his red stapler, he'd burn down the office. Tom looks like your uncle at the family reunion your parents tell you to stay away from. Tom's bio said he works at Starbucks, and I believe it because that bio was full of spelling errors. We got, I think last but not least, we have Star. I can't pronounce her last name, so we're just going to refer to her as Star. I don't know much about Star. Everything I learned about her, I read in the men's bathroom. Star's so sexually frustrated, the only way to get her off is with a corrupt lawyer. That's right. The only way to get that woman wet is to convince all the villagers that she's a witch. She likes to party though, guys. She says she does a lot of drugs and gets wasted. I feel like the only thing that gets wasted more than Star is her white privilege. Alright guys, let's bring out the star of the evening. Give it up for Jay the Juggalo. Woot woot. Woot woot. I feel like you guys sound like retarded kids at the taping of the Arsenio Hall show. Jay looks less like a juggalo and more like the mascot from the 49ers. Those of you that know Jay personally, Jay is one of those online trolls. And in real life, he just looks like a troll. He looks like one of the Seven Dwarfs' rebellious teenage son, you know? What is it? What do you, Fago? Oh, woo-woo, the official drink of the ICP. Fago. Fago's so terrible, I'd rather drink the water in Flint, Michigan.
That's fucked up.
That is some terrible stuff, guys. For those of you that don't know what juggalos are kind of like the Burning Man crowd at the trailer park, you know? It's music for crystal methods. All right, guys. That's been my time. I want to give it up for all the comics you're going to see tonight. Coming first to the stage, give it a warm welcome to Chris Barelick. All right, keep it going for Dro. All right.
you may or may not be familiar with this. Dro's stage name in the SF comedy circuit is Dro Knows. I think the only thing that Dro knows is the most comfortable middle school gym equipment to lean against for hours at a time while waiting for his special friends to show up. Dro, despite what Donald Trump says, I can never see you climbing over the Mexican border wall because I can't ever see you being that motivated in your life. Let's see. Got Jordan Saramonera there. I look at Jordan and I don't know if he's leading or following a cult. Jordan's a funny guy. He keeps joking about suicide, and he keeps joking about it and joking about it, which means he's just building up to it with no punchline. All right, Star Zagowski. Star just looks like every Disney princess after a bender. Star kind of looks like she belongs in an 80s movie. She's the sort of slutty girl who tells Molly Ringwald about sex. All right. Terrell Big T Butler, good to have you here. Terrell looks like he's waiting for Sandra Bullock to take an interest and help him play football. Terrell's actually working on a new project. It's called Type 9 Diabetes. Clark Little. Clark looks like he burned down your neighbor's trailer. Oh, God. Clark, you are a role model among pedophiles. Cheryl White. Cheryl was recently able to help out the staff at the Oakland Zoo recently. They had misplaced 50,000 bats, so Cheryl's been keeping them in her vagina for them. So, yeah. Cheryl, I have only positive things to say about Cheryl. Cheryl is the nicest piece of talking beef jerky I've ever met. So, yeah. Tom Smith. Tom looks like he's about to shoot everyone. So, just 1999 happened for a reason, sir. So did Columbine. Take a fucking hint on the trench coat. I know you were only 38 then, but yeah. Let's see. Tom looks like every Dungeons and Dragons dungeon master that you never want to fuck. And he is. Let's see. As for the guest of honor and the Juggalos themselves, I love how the Juggalos have sat off to the side and nobody's really near them. They're in this segregated section like Rosa Parks never happened. I think the Juggalos are winners. Granted, the only thing you're winning against is type 2 diabetes for the time being, so... Alright. There's a saying... Teacher says every time a Juggalo is born, a social worker gains at least 29 more years for their career, so... It's nice that the Juggalos are here. Do you guys ever watch Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight and think, wow, I could actually achieve something in clown makeup if I tried? The Juggalos, they were nice people, even if you were... You just represent the really nice older cousin who should be in rehab, but will gladly beat up whoever's bullying you in middle school for almost no reason. Alright, I want to be honest here. If and when a Juggalo touches the library card, they're doing coke. The gathering of the Juggalos versus the Trump rally. I think I'd rather go to the gathering because on average there's a 28% fewer attempted lynchings at the gathering of the Juggalos, so... Alright. You corrected my math on that, sir. Way to defy stereotype. Alright. It's nice to have the Juggalos here because this gives Dro a chance to look at them and say, oh man, these people need to get their fucking lives together. Family. The Juggalo family. The Juggalo family is a beautiful thing. It's noble, it's important. And the Juggalo family tree has a 1994 Honda Civic wrapped around it. I actually had to teach my computer with the word juggalos to write this, and that's the last of any learning that will take place when referring to juggalos. And now my computer can't learn. Alright. The Juggalos, look guys, I do want to thank you. I want to thank you for freeing me from my high school locker every other day. I appreciate it. I don't think conventional weapons can kill a Juggalo, and the only thing that can effectively kill a Juggalo is a high school diploma, so... And finally, the Juggalos were briefly on the FBI's wanted gang list from 2011 to 2014, and then in 2014 they realized that actual gangs get things done. It's like, the Crips have a Dropbox account, so... And as for Jay, you look like a fucking wayward hobbit, sir. I do want to thank you for that. All right, sir, can I actually taste the Faygo? Yes. Okay, there's a reason the FDA never approved this shit. Thank you guys for coming out. Stick around.
Woo! Take this on.
Thank you, Chris Barelick. That was a treat, guys. Watching Chris Barelick make fun of Juggalos was like Star Trek nerds making fun of Star Wars nerds for being nerds. Does everybody else feel that way? All right, your next comic is one of the co-creators of the show. Give it up for Cheryl White.
I know it was like in a newsletter online and stuff, right? But you can't read, so. Yeah. Oh, word of mouth? Okay, got it. You know, I think it's cute that Chris just roasted the entire audience instead of Jay. I'm gonna stick to roasting Jay, but first I'm gonna start with Dro. Dro, he's our token Mexican worker. This is why we don't want anchor babies, just in case you were wondering. He's a big pot smoker, right, Joe? Yeah, he rolled a fatty on the way over here, but don't worry, she's fine. Hey, Joe, would you like to know what all the Comedy Central comics are saying about you? Yeah. Absolutely nothing, because they don't know who the fuck you are either. Hey, Big T. Big T and I have something in common. We have the same t-shirt. I got mine because of summer allergies. It says I can't breathe. Is that an Oakland joke? You guys know? All right, hashtag Black Comics Matter. That's the thing about T, all of his jokes have a dark side. Oh, you guys don't like racist jokes, got it. Just cut out half my material. No, I'll leave Big T alone. He obviously has already had enough on his plate. Hey, so I do a podcast about dating. I invited Chris Barelick to come on the Date Talk show, but he wanted to know if his date had to be real. Yeah, so he wasn't on the show. All right, Tom Smith. So 7 out of the comics tonight are white males. That's weird, right? Jay, Chris, Jordan, Clark, and the other 3 are Tom. Seriously though, Tom, thanks for coming out tonight. I know you're going to do the work of 3 men and look the part. Oh, I'm sorry, don't be hurt. Keep your chins up. I always feel like all the comics mom, but that just means I must be like a horrible parent. Okay, that's not funny, got it. Too true, I'm a horrible parent. My kids aren't here, it's all right. Jordan, if you had one wish, would it be to be funny? Aww. You know, the fact that no one likes you, it doesn't make you an artist. Jordan is also single. He's single because everyone who dates him can't get the funny taste out of their mouth and not funny. Okay. Star is the center of this whole constellation of stupid. Our shining star. Skinny, she's very skinny, and skinny is considered beautiful, but just don't let any of that beauty go to your face, Star. Star is also bi, mostly because women have much lower standards. It's true. Clark! Okay, check it out. Clark has this like weird gay cop look.
It's the mustache.
He has a bit of an inferiority complex, but that's fully justified. Actually, Clark comes from a whole family of comedians, but his parents made the best joke of all. What are we all Clark fans now? Forget it. All right, and Jay, we're so thankful you're here, Mr. Woo Woo, Mr. Juggalo. Yay! Yeah. Okay, before I do anything else, I just want to read you this online dictionary definition of juggalos, okay? This is what it says. For the most part, an uneducated, pathetic excuse for human beings who listen to the group ICP who are bold enough to actually consider themselves musicians. People you see wearing Hatchet Man accessories, and they should not be allowed to reproduce because that is too cruel to future generations. I didn't write that. Found that online, just want you to know. Okay, you don't care. It's not true though, you guys are great people. I've noted, I love every one of you. Please don't kill me. All right. We really can't blame juggalos for being accused of being stupid because they get their face paint from Flint, Michigan. Lead face paint, people. Really, so they have an excuse. Unlike Clark, it's just genetics with Clark. Hey guys, don't like me picking on Clark. I'm really not going to do any more of that. All right. No racist jokes and no picking on Clark. I'm learning. So people keep accusing you, Jay, of being, of acting like a meth head. But we know you're not acting. And finally, I want to say we all decided to become comics because we think we're funny. And Jay decided to become a juggalo because his parents didn't love him. Oh, sad note for me.
Cheryl White, everybody! Yeah! You guys ready for your next comic? Yeah. Straight out of Oakland, Mr. Oakland himself. Give it up for Big D!
All right, give it up for yourselves. Clap it, clap your hands. My main function is to retrofit the stage for Tom. I think you're gonna be all right, homeboy. Give it up for the host, Dro. Dro knows, that's my guy, man. Yeah. Dro knows. Dro's a fucking asshole in real life. Okay? I was smoking with Dro earlier, man. Dro knows how to hog the blunt. Dro knows how to steal a motherfucking lighter. Dro knows how to not bring his own weed to every fucking smoke function ever. We was upstairs, so many chicks upstairs that came down here. I was talking to some chicks earlier. Dro knows how to cock block. Dro knows how to irritate the pussy. Asshole. I hate Dro. As a weed smoker, that's hard for me to say. I hate Dro. Star, I love Star. Star is hella cool, man. Star, she's like a 2016 hippie, or as I like to call her, Cheryl 2.0. Cheryl's a hippie, that's just another way of saying she's white and smelly. I'm sorry, Star is bisexual. Star is openly bisexual. You can tell by the smile on her husband's face. It's cool, man. It's cool. Speaking of sluts, I'm talking about Cheryl White. Cheryl is so slutty. Cheryl's so slutty. She has a tattoo on her back says who's up next? Cheryl's been fucking so long. Cheryl's been fucking so long before condoms were invented. She is the host for every sexual disease ever. That's why she's still walking the planet. One disease just kills another disease, and then they just keep fighting for one till one can take over. It's like an STD Game of Thrones going on in her fucking body right now. Clark Little. I love Clark. He looks like Marty Huggins from The Campaign. The little Southern Belle. I mean, Clark is cool, but he's from Mississippi. So that means that his grandfather's grandfather probably owned my grandfather's grandfather. I don't know whether to be cool with him or punch him in the fucking face. Clark is cool with me, man. He can come over to my house as long as my nephews ain't home. He's not allowed to be within 1,000 yards of him. Well, I didn't come here for them, man. I came here to meet Jay. Jay the Juggalo. He looks like Rob Zombie had sex with Ronald McDonald. And then that baby did heroin. You are the ultimate rebellious machine right there with that makeup on. I know why Juggalos wear makeup, and so nobody knows that they like ICP music. You people out here in your Juggalo shit, you guys have ICP fans on purpose. You're the real MVP, okay? Without ICP making money, they'd probably be breaking into other people's trailers right about now. I love the gathering of the Juggalos. It's the one place you know that black people are not hanging out. Okay?
That's not true.
It's where Juggalos go to be racist on purpose. I can dig that. You're all in one spot. If I ever wanted to fuck up a lot of white people at one time, I'm gonna go to the gathering of the Juggalos. I don't know why you like that music, okay? I'm gonna just be honest with you, Jay. I've done a little bit of ICP research. That music sucks. It sucks since day one. ICP music sucks. It sucks like if it had the disease and the antidote was in ICP music, okay? The music is terrible. The only time ICP music is okay is never. I'm running out of material, as you can tell, because ICP music, it draws all this funny out of my system, man. I don't know what to say about it. But this paint, I don't know about this paint, okay? Because you can't do any children's birthday parties with this paint on. I mean, you look like a meth head clown right now. I don't know what else to say. I'm done, man. My name is Big T, man. I'm gonna get off the stage. Hey, we got Juggalos. Thank you for coming out, man.
One more time for Big T. Telling everybody I cock blocked them. I saved them, man. Those girls were wretched, man. Those girls were nasty. I feel like their vagina could be described by my 3 favorite characters on The Simpsons. Crusty, itchy, and scratchy. So I feel like you owe me one, Big T. Coming up to the stage. Y'all want to give a warm welcome to my man, Tom Smith.
whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, so we got our juggalos over here, and I gather the juggalos enjoy attacking in a pack. So I brought a couple of things to keep myself safe. These are called books. I'll tell you what goes on. Later on, I hope to explain them to you. In the meantime, I love that Chris knows so little about juggalos. He did a joke about them doing cocaine. They're meth, people. Come on. We have juggalos here, everybody. I want you to say hello to the Stockton City Council. Love the music of ICP. Second only to slavery and crimes against black culture. Huh?
Oh, God.
That too much? It's going to be a long one for you. Sorry. Let's hear it for Dro, everybody, huh? We talked him into coming out of San Francisco and hosting this event. Never before has a Mexican crossed a body of water to do a job nobody wants to do. Way to go, Dro. I like the fact that Dro is the anti-Danny Trejo. It kind of got the Mexican thing, but without all the funny. Okay, you guys love Danny Trejo. Or you don't know who he is, and I'm an asshole. Oh, man. I like the fact that Dro, basically he looks like the first person killed in any Robert Rodriguez movie. Okay. Cheryl, huh? Let's hear it for Cheryl. Give her a round. What can you say about Cheryl that hasn't been said by the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia? The thing about Cheryl is you never know where Cheryl ends and the labia begins. Sorry, I said labia, I meant asshole. Too harsh. Oh, come on. Her comedy begs the big question. Is that her comedy or her snatch? I'm pissing off the den mother over here. All right, I'm sorry, but I'm really not. Star. Let's hear about Star Zagowski over here, everybody. Let's give her a round. I was surprised to find that, I wasn't surprised actually to find that Star, when asked what her favorite band is, she's replied, she has no favorite band, because when you fuck so many of them, how do you pick one? She's the reason the Stanford marching band can't march in formation. The fact that Star is she's a feminist and she's a Jew, two things nobody likes. Why don't you just add cannibal to that and have the trifecta, sweetheart? I like the fact that she's here to make Cheryl seem fuckable.